All right, everyone, buckle up, because today we're diving into a seriously wild idea.
It's one that really makes you rethink what we know about life both here and maybe even out there in the
I
universe.
mean, come on, a purple Earth. Who wouldn't be intrigued by that?
Right, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today, this fascinating purple Earth hypothesis.
So basically, the idea is that early life on Earth might have used a totally different way of doing photosynthesis.
Instead of the chlorophyll we're all familiar with, the stuff that makes plants green, it might have relied on this molecule called retinol.
And that could resulted in, you guessed it, a purple Earth.
It's mind-blowing, right?
Totally.
Uh,
But before we go full sci-fi, let's make sure everyone's on the same page. So, like, we all know why plants are green. Yeah.
Good old chlorophyll. It's like the engine of photosynthesis.
Absorbs sunlight, powers that whole process of turning sunlight into energy.
And reflects green light, hence the color we see.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Chlorophyll is a pretty complex molecule.
Oh, yeah, incredibly so. And it's super efficient, too. I mean, it's responsible for the oxygen we breathe.
And basically forms the foundation of most ecosystems as we know them.
Couldn't have life as we know it without it, that's for sure.
But now, rewind the clock, way back to early Earth.
We're talking billions of years ago. Things were a lot different back then.
Lower oxygen levels, the atmosphere was hazy.
Not exactly a walk in the park.
And scientists think that in that environment, a simpler molecule, retinal, might have been the star of the show.
It's a simpler molecule, but it can still absorb sunlight.
And here's the key. Retinal absorbs different wavelengths of light compared to chlorophyll.
Reflects back red and blue light.
And when you mix red and blue, what do you get?
You got it, purple.
So picture this. Ancient Earth, bathed in a purplish hue, thanks to all these retinal-powered organisms.
Like, there's this microbe called halobacterium that lives in really salty environments, and it's bright purple because of retinol.
And get this, halobacterium isn't even a bacteria, it's an archaea.
One of the oldest types of life on Earth.
Talk about a blast from the past.
They're like living fossils, giving us a glimpse into what that early Earth might have actually looked like.
So we have this picture of a purple Earth, right? But obviously, things changed. Our planet's pretty green nowadays.
Yeah, so the question is, what happened? How did we go from purple to green?
Did those purple microbes just vanish?
Well, not exactly. They're still around. But over millions of years, chlorophyll evolved.
And chlorophyll was just better at its job.
Way more efficient at photosynthesis, meaning it could capture more energy from the sun.
Like, imagine trading in your old flip phone for the latest smartphone.
That's chlorophyll, a major upgrade.
And that efficiency gave chlorophyll-based organisms a huge advantage.
They thrived, reproduced, and eventually became the dominant form of life,
And as they spread, they started pumping out more and more oxygen,
leading to what we call the Great Oxygenation Event.
which, as the name suggests, was a pretty big deal.
Oh yeah, it completely transformed our atmosphere and paved the way for the evolution of more complex life forms.
Including, eventually, us. So, in a way, we owe our existence to chlorophyll winning that evolutionary race.
It's a fascinating story, and it makes you wonder, what if things had gone differently? What if retinol had remained the dominant force? We'll be diving into those what-ifs when we come back, so stick around.
We'll be back in a flash to explore those alternate realities, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, deep divers. We're picking up right where we left off with this whole purple Earth thing. Pretty wild stuff.
And we were talking about those purple microbes, the ones that might hold clues to finding life on other planets. Totally different way of life, right?
Exactly. Like, scientists are looking for those cosmic fingerprints you mentioned, those light patterns from molecules like retinol.
Right, but how do they actually find those fingerprints?
Mhm.
I mean, we're talking about planets light years away. Seems impossible.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. Like finding a needle in a cosmic haystack.
It is incredibly challenging, but here's the gist. When light from a star passes through a planet's atmosphere, some of it gets absorbed.
Okay, so like a filter. Exactly. And different molecules absorb different wavelengths, leaving behind a unique fingerprint in the light that reaches us.
So like a missing piece of a puzzle, and that missing piece tells us what's in the atmosphere.
You got it. It's like looking at a rainbow and noticing that certain colors are missing. Those missing colors tell a story.
Wow, that's pretty ingenious. But okay, say we find a planet with a purple hue. How do we know for sure it's from life? What if it's just like a weird atmospheric thing?
Great question, and you're right to be skeptical. Color alone isn't enough. It's like you wouldn't diagnose someone based solely on their skin color, right?
Makes sense. So there are other factors that can make a planet look purple, like clouds or dust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even the type of star it orbits can affect how it looks.
So it's not just as simple as see purple, confirm life. There's a whole lot more detective work involved.
Absolutely. It's like piecing together a cosmic puzzle. They analyze the data carefully, look for other clues to rule out other possibilities.
So like, what else are they looking for besides color?
Well, they also study the chemical composition of the atmosphere, looking for gases that could indicate biological activity.
Oh, like oxygen, right.
Right.
Because we know life as we know it needs oxygen.
Oxygen is a big one, but there are others too, like methane, carbon dioxide, even weirder compounds that wouldn't normally be there unless there was life.
So it's all about finding those biosignatures, those telltale signs of life.
Exactly. It's like a cosmic game of Clue. We're looking for the suspect, the weapon, and the location, all rolled into one.
I like that analogy. And to find these clues, scientists are constantly developing even better telescopes, right?
Oh yeah, they're like our eyes on the universe, allowing us to see farther and clearer than ever before.
It's pretty mind-blowing how far technology has come. But let's go back to those purple microbes for a sec.
Sure, what about them?
Well, if they were so dominant on early Earth, why did chlorophyll take over? Was it just, like, that much better?
Chlorophyll was a game changer, no doubt. Remember, it's much more efficient at photosynthesis, meaning more energy from sunlight.
So it's like survival of the fittest? The organisms with chlorophyll just outcompeted the purple microbes because they were better at their job.
Exactly. It's like if you had two solar panels, one way more efficient than the other, you'd obviously choose the better one, right?
Right, so chlorophyll had that edge, and as it spread, it pumped out more oxygen.
Leading to that great oxygenation event we talked about, totally reshaping our atmosphere.
And setting the stage for more complex life to evolve, so we kind of owe it all to chlorophyll.
It's a fascinating chain of events, showing how even tiny organisms can have a massive impact on a whole planet.
But those purple microbes didn't completely disappear, did they?
Yeah.
You mentioned they still exist in those extreme environments.
Yeah, those extremophiles are tough cookies. They show us that life can exist in conditions we thought were impossible.
So, like, if life can thrive in the Dead Sea, maybe it can handle a scorching hot planet or a super salty ocean.
Exactly. It really broadens our perspective on what's possible and where we might find life out there.
Like, hey, if life can make it there, maybe it can make it anywhere.
Exactly. And that's what makes the search for extraterrestrial life so exciting. We're constantly pushing the boundaries of what we know.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the inner workings of photosynthesis to the hunt for biosignatures on distant planets. This purple Earth hypothesis is definitely mind-blowing.
It really makes you think differently about the origins and diversity of life.
And we're just getting started. We'll be back in a flash to wrap things up and explore some even bigger questions. Welcome back, deep divers. We're in the home stretch of our Purple Earth adventure, and things are about to get really interesting.
We've gone from those ancient purple microbes to the possibility of finding purple planets light years away.
It's been a wild ride, but now I want to kind of flip things around and ask you, our listener, a question.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Imagine, just for a second, that chlorophyll never took over. What if retinal had stayed in charge? What would our world look like today?
Okay, I'm trying to picture it.
Right. Instead of all the green forests and fields, we'd have, well, purple plains, violet mountains. It's kind of hard to even imagine.
It would definitely be a sight to behold, that's for sure.
Like, would trees be lavender? Would grass be lilac?
Yeah, instead of that familiar emerald green, everything would be bathed in these, like, vibrant shades of violet and magenta.
Whoa, that's wild. It'd be like living on an alien planet, but right here on Earth.
Exactly. But it's not just about the scenery. The types of life would be different, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, what kind of creatures could survive in a purple world?
Well, for starters, they need to be adapted to a lower oxygen environment because retinal photosynthesis doesn't produce as much oxygen as chlorophyll.
So, like, maybe more extremophiles. Those tough microbes that can handle harsh conditions.
Exactly. They might resemble the ones we talked about earlier, the ones that thrive in those extreme environments.
So instead of towering redwoods and graceful gazelles, we might have, like, fields of weird purple bacteria and, I don't know, slimy slug-like things.
It's definitely a fascinating thought experiment, showing just how diverse life can be and how many possibilities are out there in the universe.
It really makes you wonder, what other crazy life forms are out there just waiting to be discovered?
And that brings us back to the search for life beyond Earth. What are the chances we actually find a planet with purple life?
Yeah, like, is that even realistic?
It's impossible to say for sure, but the search itself is incredibly valuable. Even if we don't find another planet full of purple life, we're learning so much along the way.
So it's not just about finding aliens, it's about understanding life itself wherever it might be.
Exactly. Every discovery, every piece of data, it all pushes us further down that path of understanding.
It's like we're all part of this massive cosmic puzzle, and we're slowly piecing it together, one discovery at a time.
And who knows what amazing things we'll find. Maybe one day we'll look through our telescopes and see a distant world bathed in those captivating shades of purple, a testament to the endless creativity of the cosmos.
That would be incredible. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the Purple Earth hypothesis.
We've traveled through time, explored the possibilities of alien life, and considered some pretty mind-blowing ideas.
And we hope you've enjoyed the journey as much as we have. But remember, this is just the beginning. There's a whole universe out there waiting to be explored.
So keep those cosmic questions coming, keep looking up at the stars, and never stop wondering what else might be out there.
And as always, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to our channel for more mind-blowing explorations into the mysteries of the universe. Until next time, keep exploring.